Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking one last look at the Hemorrhage and internal bleeding weapons. This is the final lineup. As a quick reminder, this is what the Hemorrhage mod is, and this is what the internal bleeding mod is. These are basically impact proc Hunter Munitions that change it into slash instead of using crits. The first weapon we're going to take a look at today is the frequently forgotten Vaykor Marelok, a weapon that was touted as the iconic pistol of Steel Meridian. This weapon once was hailed as a great status pistol, but it's fallen by the wayside with the power creep in the last couple of years. However, with the advent of Hemorrhage, this pistol once again manages to find its way into your hands. We're going to be using shrapnel rounds, which is an augment exclusive to the Marelok family. It gives 200% multi-shot, but you lose damage. This is okay because we're trying to spread as much status as possible. So in this case, a small base damage loss, especially from Hornet Strike, which is such a strong base damage mod, it's okay getting a steady 3 shots every single trigger pull. We're sitting at a juicy 61.3% status, and we have Viral modded on the weapon with these 60/60s. I'm leaving one unranked because I'm trying to balance out the impact weight on the weapon with the Viral so that we get a decent spread. Now you'll see this weapon isn't particularly strong, but it can actually kill the heavy gunners. Previously it just straight up couldn't with how far it's fallen by the wayside. Now the reason why I want a little bit more viral than you'd normally expect is this weapon really actually requires that viral to perform. If you don't get enough procs, it just won't tick. The weapon is decently low fire rate as well, so you really want what you can get for those slash procs. Generally, because you can't even shoot that fast, you'll only accumulate a couple of slash procs, but it's enough to get the job done. So let's take a look at a different build. That was our crit focused Vaykor Marelok, and you're probably thinking this weapon doesn't have that good crit stats, so why not just go raw damage and add on more impact and status chance as well as base damage through Megam Force. This way, with our extra impact mod, we are no longer as concerned about our viral weighting and we can run the full 60% on both of the viral mods. This preserves our near 50-50 weighting and lets us get a decent amount of slash and viral procs, but you'll very quickly notice here that the weapon basically does no damage unless you crit. The non-crits are those probably 4 or 5 pixel wide red ticks on the bar, whereas the crit hits are the very obvious and plain to the eye fat ticks. So basically, although this is a heavily status focused weapon, you really need the crits to make it work, which is why we're going to go on that hybrid setup, because the weapon just isn't strong enough. Now let's take a look at our second weapon, Fulmin. Previously known as a Hunter Munitions weapon, it never really had enough crit chance to reach 100%, which made Hunter Munitions a little bit inconsistent. Luckily, internal bleeding comes in and completely saves the day, going off impact procs instead. The shotgun on Fulmin is a guaranteed impact proc, and you even have the lowered fire rate to guarantee you get 2 times effect from the weapon. Every single time you shoot, you're going to get 70% chance of an impact being converted into slash. You can see we only need 2 hits to the head to very quickly kill the heavy gunner. If I shoot only once, it's not enough, but it gets pretty close, taking about 2/3 to 3/4 of their health off. It's a pretty good thing that you only have to shoot twice, as this weapon only holds 6 shots in its magazine size, and you don't really want to throw away too much damage on your shots to account for that further. Now we have a different setup here that focuses more on the viral setup of the weapon instead. The first build I showed you focused on raw damage and increasing your multi-shot to guarantee you get at least 2 bullets out. This one instead is a viral hybrid build, where we're going for more status and slightly less damage on the shots. But in return, we have much higher status, to the point that it's actually a realistic chance of proccing viral. Maybe. We'll see. The only thing you need to keep in mind is we could very reliably kill the heavy gunners in 2 shots before, and we're getting pretty close with a single shot. So you'll see here I do a lot less damage because of all that base damage I lost. The procs are also diluted slightly into viral as well, but I do still have that guaranteed impact proc. It just doesn't do as much damage since I have less. Now, although this does less damage, one thing you need to keep in mind is both builds are pretty capable of shredding these heavy gunners. You'd use the viral setup for if you're going for even higher levels, where you'll need more and more stacks of viral, which will eventually surpass the raw damage of the pure slash build. The pure slash is probably very suitable for steel path and anything on the star chart, although regular things on the star chart should not survive a single hit. Finally, let's take a look at our last candidate. You said it before, and I'm finally testing it now. Honestly, this actually overperformed compared to the paper DPS. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm gonna chalk it down to some weird kit gun math going on in the background. This is our Catchmoon. I'm first going to show you a raw slash build with Hemorrhage, and I'm showing you this so that we can see how far you can take pure damage. You want that extra little bit of fire rate from Lethal Torrent, as it only has 1.17 at base. So the pure damage build will have higher fire rate than the viral build I'll show you later, which makes it a little bit nicer for quality of life. You can see if I shoot them twice, they're pretty much guaranteed to die, which is really, really nice. How about if we go for a single shot setup instead? So I'm going to respawn these enemies and try again. One into the chest, and the reason why I'm not shooting the heads is because Catchmoon does not get headshot multipliers. You can proc things that require headshots, but you get no bonus damage, so it makes more sense to just shoot down a hallway through the chest into your enemies, as Catchmoon has infinite punch through. So let's switch to the second build instead. This is a build that focuses on viral as well as the slash. What this means is I lose my Magnum Force and also my Lethal Torrent. In exchange, I get significantly more status to the point that I'm pretty sure I can proc it decently well, plus the infinite punch through makes it a good quality of life as you have many more enemies that you can hit and proc viral on, which means you can kill stuff in the back even if you can't see it. The only issue I have with this build is you lose fire rate due to not having Lethal Torrent, so you're dropping back down to 1.17 instead of 1.8. Just like last time, we're going to start off with a 2-shot test. And as you'd probably expect with how strong Catchmoon is, it still kills them all off pretty handily. So now let's take a look at the 1-shot test instead. Well, just like the Fulmin test, 1 shot is not enough on the viral build because you do not have enough stacks and you sacrifice damage to set up viral without a guaranteed proc. The main purpose of this is the viral build has a higher damage ceiling, which would be more useful in cases such as Steel Path or longer endurance runs. Anything on Star Chart or regular missions, you should just instantly 1-shot, or the slash proc as is on both builds is enough to finish them off. That's it for this video, and well, this is probably going to be the last time you see me cover these 2 mods, as it's probably pretty overdone on this part. If this is your first time watching, feel free to leave a like, or better yet, smash that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. 66.9% of you that are watching are not subscribed. I ask you, why not? Have I not entertained? But really, I'm just here to get you the tips out as fast as possible on any new content and releases like this mainline. Otherwise, you might miss out on any exclusive things I find first. That'll be all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time.